Focus your attention on your breath.
So, starting this session with Philomene, and Philomene has the same meditation as I do. So she starts the meditation, I start the meditation, and it's just a way of keeping everything in time, but it also helps people go into an altered state of consciousness. So as she relaxes and breathes deeper, I'm just going to tune into her energy now.
Become aware of your thoughts.
So my body just reacts. So it's I can continue talking because it's my intent is that I'm sending energy healing through, and
your intention.
The guides that work through me are just starting to work really.
Soothing space.
So I don't move my hands, the energy is moving my hands. And I try and stay in a place of kind of not thinking about things, but sometimes like as information comes in, I'll need to think about it. But it feels a very automatic process. I just felt a twinge there in my stomach as more energy comes in.
Breathe deeply.
And yawning is a purging process, so it's just getting rid of that.
How time begins
You'll
to
notice,
stretch.
I don't know if you slow this video down as well, you'll notice that my hands are going to different mudras as well sometimes. Not quite yet, they're just kind of opening my channel. And most of the time I'm not even looking at the person because I'm looking at their non-physical. I'm seeing
To a serene pace.
I'm seeing a representation of. So
Less effort.
I'm just going to turn my my meditation background music down to a minimum so I can continue talking. Right. So now I'm just going to scan down her body. So the position that she's in now, I just imagine and visualize like a holographic version of that. My body reacts to that. This is the around the head. Again, what we visualize is not fundamental. It's a tool, you know, and whatever tool works for you. It's just, you're just kind of making an agreement to the energies. You're sort of saying, well, you know, I'm going to represent this from my focus of intention, and whatever comes through will affect and be affected by this. So now it's clearing stuff. You can always tell the difference when it's yours and when it's someone else's, because, you know, when you've had like 9 hours sleep and you're perfectly fine, and then you start a session and you start yawning, you know, then it's different. So now it's going down to the third eye and noticing my hand is starting to do this. Clearing. Clearing. What I tend to do is turn my mic off or mute it, because when I'm yawning or if I'm speaking light language, I don't want to bring the person out of the deep state of relaxation. Some people go to really deep states, and the last thing I want to do is start speaking light language and they suddenly jump, you know. So sometimes when it's necessary, I will. So the question is about light language, is that it brings information into the space. But then you would say, well, this is virtual, so how can it bring it into a space? It brings information and frequency into this vibrational frequency. So it doesn't matter that they can't hear me. It's not that important that they receive the vibrations of the audio. See, I'm trying to do two things at once here. Arigato kushinamate ewatiste inawatasta era kokukiramachichinawate zajijanato osoya astiyaramata ikawata. So the light language just comes through depending on the energies that need to come through. So I'm just working down to the throat now. I notice my hand's doing this way, so that's the energy center moving that way now. And it's all happening quite quick. This is, my arm gets really tired, and that's just showing that it's just a feedback mechanism to show that it's old energy. And I just have to do this and it goes. It's very strange. So yeah, this is like stagnant energy that's been in the field. So, and my body reacts to the blockages. They're still at the head at the moment. Yes. Moving down to a throat. Different sessions are for different people. Some are clearing energies. Some are, especially if people have got a lot of stress. Some are to do with physicalities, problem with the bodies. And some, if you're working with healers, downloading codes, getting rid of redundant information. Again, I keep stressing that when we talk about codes, we talk about energy, we talk about frequency. These are not fundamental, these are tools. The fundamental thing is consciousness. You know, everything else is a tool. Just like language is a tool, you know, we need language to communicate. It doesn't mean that it's like English is the language. There's so many different types. Okay. So just moving down to the heart chakra now, and you can tell by my hands the frequency is moving faster. Now, sometimes, depending on the person that you're working with, and if I've activated them or they've activated with other people of a similar frequency, as soon as I start the energies, the body start vibrating, and they can't really relax because all the energy is coming through, and yet other people just go into a deep state. So I'm just working on the heart now. When you're clearing energy like this, it's people feel, oh, I feel lighter. That's the most common response after a session. But obviously I'm working at a high vibrational level, so the benefits of this energy that's been moved can come through in the weeks and the months even. People ask, oh, are you tired when you do this? Not necessarily, but when you've done maybe 4 or 5 and they're heavy, you know, you've been working with some healers and the energy, or some trauma, and the energy's been really heavy, then literally, yeah, the next day you're feeling it. That's why you got to stay hydrated, keep walking, do some exercise. So I'm just going back up to the top of the head. Just back down to the, still in the third eye. Every now and then I get a comment saying, oh, what is this crazy stuff, and you're just making it up and blah blah blah, and that's fine, you know. If people don't experience it, I don't expect them to believe it, and I say that to everyone. Don't just believe something because somebody else is doing it, experience it. You know, if people doubt, book a session. And you know, sometimes oh god, no. Yeah, sometimes people don't believe and then they have an experience and they go, oh God, what's that? So it's nice that people's reality open up a little bit. Right.
Remember, your reality is continually created.
So I do sometimes do live meditation, so I write the music and I've got the music in the background, so I'll speak it, but what happens is that you're in a different state when I'm speaking. I'm in a different state to when I'm doing the healing sessions. It's subtle, but it's enough. Slightly different frequency. Oh, God. Okay, so now we're moving down from the head, top of the head, and that's clear now. So I'm back into the heart. So we're working on the chakras. The heart is the front. And you can't judge people by their age. You can't, you can have somebody in front of you who looks a wise man with a big beard, and he looks like he's been doing spirituality for years. And then you work with like a 15-year-old who's first time, and the energy is so strong because it's the quality of their consciousness. It's not who they are in this life. So I always try not to preempt or judge what type of energy is going to come through. I mean, the energy is always high and feel aligned with the highest goodness. That's what I can say. But yeah. So now we're working down at the sacral chakra. This particular meditation is a 30-minute meditation. I do 45 and 1 hour ones. And you'll find that when people, sometimes it might take 15 minutes for their mind to switch off, and then they start getting into a really deep trance, and then it's coming out.
Send love to yourself.
So this is the sacral now, so all I'm seeing is this sacral energy. And sometimes you burp as well, which again, it's a good job the mic's off. And I tend to be systematic in the approach, as in I'll work down the front first. Sometimes the energies will take me straight to a specific point. That could be anywhere else, but mainly I'm working down the front. Yeah, people don't understand the yawning process. Then they'll think, "Oh, he's tired, he's bored," and it's not. This yawning process is done in shamanic work. It's a way of purging the energy out if the client doesn't. So, just moving down now. Again, I keep always going back to the top, just scanning down to see if anything's changed. Sacral. So now I'll move down the front of the body. Okay, so now I'm seeing her standing up. I'm just moving down the front of her body. And now I'm going to move around the back. Now, what I used to do is get people to turn over, and when I did them in lives, and I realised that it's intent, and it's all in the quantum field anyway. So just turning them around. So I'm seeing a hologram of her turning around, and I'm moving down the back of her head, the back of her neck. That's the back of her neck there. A little bit of energy. Move down the mid back, lower back. Bit of energy there. And I always make sure I go down to the feet as well. So, and it's consistent. So as I move back down again, as I'm talking, my attention goes onto the back of the neck. Same energy down to the mid back. So I'm just going to do the back of the neck first. So the back of the neck, there is another chakra. Not everybody knows about it, or they don't pay attention to it because it's not usually one of the 7, which is called the Zeal chakra. It's an energy center, and I did read about it, but I didn't fully believe in it until I started experiencing it.
Consider the many lifetimes you've lived, each one teaching you and leading you.
And the chakras go right through the body, apart from the Zeal chakra. And we have, I think it's 114 chakras, but only the 7 ones are the major ones I work with. I'm just moving down to the mid-back now. So, as you're seeing me, her body's facing that way, and this is her mid-back, so she stood up in relation to what I'm doing. Now, the mid-back, this is also the sacral. Remember, I was working on the sacral a few minutes ago, and we go through, it goes right through. So, as you alter the energy center on one side, you usually find that it sometimes needs calibrating on the other. And the more energy comes through, the more my stomach tenses up. It was one of the things that started happening when I started working with energies. It's my Dantian area. I tend not to read a lot of stuff because I don't want it to influence my experience. I experience and then teach what I experience. and it's repeatable. So, and when people are activated with this energy, they seem to be going along the same path. They start moving their hands, they start speaking light language, and they understand what it's about. So as she's facing this way in my mind, I'm just going to turn her that way. So she's stood up and facing this way, and I'm going to move down the back of the spine to the same place. Right, so I'm at the same place, but I'm head on now. So I feel like I just need to put more energy in there. Yeah, sometimes my teeth rattle as the energy's coming through. It's quite funny. Ariato okuki na machichi no watasta enoa. I say, see, my hands just changed then, the direction's changed. Yeah, I call this frequency healing because it's different from Reiki, it's different from angelic healing. And and I think everything is frequency. Okay. So again, go to the top, back of the head, move down. It's clear now. So just turn around again. Sometimes I'll even just imagine like I'm doing a session in a live one with someone in the room. So I'll just place there. So I imagine her lying on a massage table. She's relaxed. She's got a blanket on, and I'm just scanning over her body again. The same readings will happen whether I'm scanning it this way or visualizing it that way. So as I move over her body, there's nothing. There's no blockages. Okay. I'll just move down the back. No blockages. So when this happens, I just think, oh, it's all done. And that's not the case sometimes. Sometimes it's like, okay, well, the energy healing that's just happened, they're integrating that process. And sometimes their body may shake, or sometimes they just might be breathing heavier or whatever. Sometimes you may even not notice, but what happens is I'm kind of just standing here. It's like being on a baseball game and you just put on the benches for a while. I'm like, okay, so when I need to do the next bit, I'll get an energy push forward. Yeah. And I can just be thinking about anything, like you would do if you're just on a bench at a football game. Just stay in that kind of zone of, I've kind of got my attention on her. My intent is to be a channel of energy healing. We are. So look. So there's 11 minutes left. And what happens, I've noticed this in plant ceremonies, in medicine ceremonies, I call it the system. The energies seem to know how long you've got. So they'll say, oh, well, actually, we've got 30 minutes, so we'll do this, this, and this. And if you've got an hour, we'll do this, 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 and this. And it's kind of cool how it works. And usually I finish a couple of minutes just before the end. Or if you're working with someone and they're feeling the energy, we'll both see the energy drop at exactly the same time. It's kind of cool. There you go, just been pushed in again. Not pushed, guided. Just said not pushed, guided. Guided in. So this is different. The first one was calibrating, clearing the energies, and this feels like it's just bringing some nice calming energy in now, and just rebalancing nicely. So I'm working on the front, and it's took me to this chest area. Now Philomene did say she's got some back issues. I'll look at that shortly. I never promise anything to do with helping the physical body, but having said that, there's been quite a few occasions where I'm working with people and going, oh my God, that pain's just gone. Because it was an energetic block. It wasn't a structural, anatomical defect or anything problem. It was energy that was called. Even saying that, everything's energy anyway, but yeah, it's kind of cool. So this is the process now. It's just putting some nice energy in. Yeah. So I'm just kind of going along with that. What I've noticed really as I'm tracking this information is that as the hands do this,
And now,
it's almost like a triangle. That's
sense
kind of
your
closing that
as we
particular
select your
practice of
nervous
what it's just done
system.
there. It's like sealing what it's just done. I've noticed that recently. You don't get a manual of this, do you? It kind of comes in.
Or feel their presence,
Stop.
this
Right.
positive energy of light.
So her energy is clear now. Its blockages have gone. And as I scan down her back, there's no energies. And this is important because I'm scanning for
And now,
blockages in her energy in regards to what we've just done.
just connect to yourself.
So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to ask for specifically about her back. And it's your intention. It's about, if you went to Google and you searched up a colour blue, you get all blue things back. If you search up a colour green, all green things back. It's the intent that you put in. So my intent would be to actually, is there anything in her physical body that can benefit from this energy session? And if so, can you help me guide energy to that specific point? And then what will happen is that if there is, my body will react. So even though I've just scanned down and it's been clear, I was looking at a different frequency. So I'm now looking at the physical side of things. So I'm moving down. That's the back of her head, the shoulders, mid back, lower back. So I'm getting lower back right at the bottom and then just up into the mid back. And now I'm going to divide it into two. So I'm turning that way. So I've got, that's the lower mid back and the lower back. Now I'm asking, is it going to be on one side or the other? So, and it's showing me the right side. So there's more energy on the right side. So now I'll just focus my intent and ask for the energies to come through for that.
Feel the vibrations and sensations as you use your own healing abilities to realign your mind, body, and soul. Imagine yourself in a golden room with golden steps leading up to a stream of light descending from above. And this light that is streaming down in this golden room
It's a lot of
composed of
good
millions
energy.
of
I
golden
I can feel it's a good, nice, solid energy. That breathing also helps. You'll find that when you do psychedelics. If I don't do them now, but if you ever do psychedelics and you find a lot of energy, always breathe through your mouth. It regulates the breath. Don't ask me how, but it does. Yeah, totally. So now I'm just seeing it, some energy at the lower back, just pulling that away.
This cleansing gold and silver light soothes, cleanses, and revitalizes every part of your non-physical energy, absorbing only the codes and
Of course, when people have an energy healing session like this, the meditations that I create, that they're theirs to use. So if, the next day or a week later, they can always go back in and reconnect and start taking themselves to a deep place.
These gentle yet powerful healing energies.
So they're working on her lower back now. So she can't hear a word of what I'm saying at the moment, which is always good because, if I'm doing something like this, there's always that suggestion. But having said that, if healing works through whatever, all healing is placebo anyway, I believe. All we do as healers is we present a frequency and their higher self decides to align with it or not, based on their belief systems and what they actually want to achieve. I think when people go in thinking that they are healing everyone, that's when things get a little bit God complexy. And he was as good as your last session. So as I move down the back now, that's good. Down the side. And then I just imagine I do this because it's like, imagine it going around like this and looking at me now. That's cool. So our energies are really nice now. It's like, just like really, there's nothing. And down the back. Will it relieve her back pain? I don't know. I hope so. But again, we can't decide, that what to heal. We just work as, let me be a channel for the highest good, and that's the way it should be, really. I think we've got about 4 minutes left. Sometimes it's nice for the client just to be, just be in that space. Do another little check. It's kind of fun sometimes when you're working with people, and say I've done a live with someone, and they come to where I am, and just before they go, I'll say, I'll just check, see if all the energies are right, and sometimes energies just kind of recalibrating. And sometimes the body will start twitching this way, and then you'll find a knot of energy, and you'll do that, and then the body will twitch that way. And it's like, it's crazy. It's fun. Like, we both laugh about it, people enjoy it, the fact that they can feel the energies. Okay. Sometimes you can see people going into rapid eye movement, as they move into these different states of brainwave activity. But, the energy works whether or not they witness it or not. The energy's still working. The only thing I would say is that when they are actively thinking about things, they're blocking themselves. They're adding more energy into because you're thinking it's another frequency, it's a different brainwave, so you're bringing energy into the healing process, going like, oh, what's that? What's happening there? Oh, that's interesting. And, really being in a completely, it's like being on an operating table and being wide awake, saying, what are you doing there? Why are you doing that? And why are you cutting? It's like you wouldn't be able to do the job. So this is almost like anesthesia for people, just to go, you do that, I'll do this, and we'll see at the end of it. But this is a process that's developed over the last, 8 years since I've been doing this. It's just kind of developed into what works and allowing the guidance to guide me into it. So, these sessions that I'm recording for YouTube are with the permission of the client, and here we go.
Wow.
How are you feeling?
As if I'm come from heaven.
We all come from heaven. We just forget it sometimes.
Yeah, it's beautiful. So much love and trust and, complete, beautiful.
Good.
Yeah.
I'm glad you enjoyed it. Yeah, there's just clearing a lot of energy. Just a lot of stale energy, like old energy. So I was yawning quite a lot during that.
What is a yawning? What is that?
I was yawning, getting rid of energy as I'm speaking. I'm yawning. Sometimes that happens. Yeah,
okay.
Like,
this, yeah.
Yeah, so
I can imagine.
That's when I know there's all energy here, and in your lower back. I was working in your back. It was like mid back to lower back, where I felt the energy was tight as well. So there's energy going in there as well. So, that's kind of, that was it. There's no messages. Sometimes I get messages. There's no messages. It was just really clearing. But, as I'm looking at your energy now, it feels really smooth, really. Most people feel a little bit lighter after the sessions, but
I feel lighter, but I was, before it happened, before that I was lucky and smooth. But now it's beautiful, So could you see the blockage in the higher back, behind the heart.
No, there was energy in the heart which we worked on, and then there's the back of the neck here, and then I felt a blockage at the bottom of the back as well. So when information comes in, I tend to do. I basically I'm as working as a channel. It just guides me to where the energy believes it needs to be. I mean, sometimes I've had my upper back has been out, and that's because my lower back has been out. But the lower back's been fine, and my upper back's gone because it's like it's been a it affects the way that the spine is aligned or whatever. So so I tend not to judge. If somebody comes in with a hip problem, I go, oh, it's the hip. It might not be. It might be something. It might be energy somewhere else. And sometimes we've cleared the energy at one point, and the blockage here has gone. Oh my God, my arm works great now, and I wasn't even working there. It was somewhere else. So I trust that the energy has its own intelligence. The body has its own intelligence, and it's about aligning people to that. So yeah.
Beautiful. So I can listen so often as if I want, eh?
Yeah.
Yeah, beautiful. And perhaps I can do also a whole session then from an hour or so in future. Because if it's, and then I pay you normally. So, but this is great. This is really such a good work what you do. I feel it's beautiful. Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Thank you, and I hope more people will experience it, and I hope more people start to do the work that I do, and then they can do it to other people, and we're all helping each other. So it's not unique to me. It's something that everyone can do. They just need to learn how to do it, and that's kind of what I'm teaching people to do now.
So I hope to follow the course in January. I hope to follow the healing course then with you.
Okay. Yeah, that'd be great. Yeah.
Yeah. It's 6 times or
it's going to be 4 weeks, and it's going to be 3 sessions a week. Plus, you get some healings with that as well. You do separately. You get healings.
Yeah. Okay.
But I'll teach you how the energy works, the fundamentals of it, what I've learned, and people don't need to know everything about an engine to drive a car. It's about, this is what you do, this is how it works, this is how you work with people, and this is how you start to heal yourself. Because, to be honest, a lot of the work that I did initially was about myself. So, I'd feel the energies moving down me, and my hands would start to heal myself. So that's kind of the process. I think you have to heal yourself before you go out and start healing others. So, yeah, it's all good.
Great. Thank you very much.
Well, thank you. Thank you very much. And we will talk soon.
And I get the recording?
Yes, I'll make sure you get one.
Beautiful. Thank you very much.
Then.
Bye.
Take care. Bye.